Yep. 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 Hello. What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the VOD. Good morning. Happy Friday. And hello. And I hope you all had a wondrous Thursday. As is tradition, Thursday is the official D&D day. I don't know why. I'm guessing it's because of Critical Role. Happy Orbathon. Yep. Happy Orbathon. And man, we're gonna have a bit of a whirlwind stream here today. We gotta be very efficient with our time because it's gonna be a bit of a shorter day for me today because I gotta go and do some family things after. I'm actually missing breakfast right now with the fam.
Evan,
yes, hi.
I may
hello.
not have slept in around 48 hours.
That's not good.
Called off of work for 2 days claiming sick, but I think I
That's
genuinely did it. Check DM, so many full dead.
Okay, all right. What do we got? All right, no sleep, 2 hours. No sleep today at all. Oh, is this the theme? Oh, you redid it. Wait, is this it?
Everything is bigger.
Dude.
For example, today's meta is the bigger, more impressive brother to Canada's most iconic servant.
What the fuck?
A warm welcome to today's meta, Alcus Alcus Hegus.
I'm so confused. Okay, Alf, this is sick. I'm gonna listen to this on my first stretch break. Okay, fuck. Wait, is this done, Alf? Can I listen? Can I listen to this on stream? Is this a thing? I hope it's a thing. I'm excited regardless. Duria, what is the meta today? Thank you for 100 bits, man. Warm welcome to today's meta, the Alcus Gigas. All right. We'll check the meta. So I gotta be real efficient today. We gotta get into the project. I gotta get done because I gotta end stream a little early today because I'm going to have a little event that I have to go to. Right? Oh, the Alaskan moose. That's a gray moose, man. That's a fantastic moose. That's a good boy right there. 9-6. Yeah, great moose. Yep. The Alaskan meta is strong. All right. If you don't mind, Alf, if you don't mind if I listen to that on stream, I'm very curious. I will happily check that out on one of my breaks. Damn, but thanks for 100 bits, guys. I appreciate it. Good morning. What is up? Good to see you guys. Yes, I have family in town. Ella's family specifically. So we will be doing family things all weekend, and I'm gonna have to be very conserving of my energy because even going out last night or yesterday evening, picking up the girls from the airport and doing that whole thing had me in bed, smack down, face
also,
over.
Sir,
Yes, hello.
Voice lines from you for the upcoming trailer, and I think I have the best voice line picked out for you.
All right.
Feel free to record that when you're available.
Sure. I don't know what the fuck that means, but sure, man. If you need some voice lines recorded, sure, I got you. Yep. I could be like one of those streamers that is also an aspiring VA. But doesn't actually have like a demo tape out anywhere or like any way to access them as a VA in any way, shape, or form at all. That's what I could do. So yeah, I got you. I'll take 7 bits, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for attending the Alaska meta this week. It was a good meta, honestly. It was a good meta. I'm impressed. Dale Arden, Flash, I love you, but we only have 14 hours to save the orb. You got more hours to save the orb, Samurai. You guys have almost saved the orb. I kind of can't believe what you guys did this week to try and save the orb, because you have what, a 3-hour stream today, and then you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you have 23 hours to save the orb. Around 23 hours to save the orb. So you guys are like within an hour of saving the orb emote in chat forever. Or at least till the next time I want to hold it hostage for a varied amount of bits, which could be any time. Let's just face it. Good morning, Olner. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Olner, I'm so sorry we couldn't play D&D yesterday. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't feel good about it. Felt like a bad person, but I did have to, you know, talk about D&D yesterday, to which I had to embarrass myself in front of my little cousins, because all those cousins, all right, they're okay. Jesus.
something something sneeze something something all.
Okay, god damn it, Alf. Man. Alright, well, congratulations. You just canonized the orb. I think you just saved the orb. Yeah, I think you just saved the orb. So, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the orb's been saved. Oh, God. Unless I go longer today. Unless I go longer today. God damn it, Alf. Thank you for the 20 gifted subs. I appreciate it. Dude, I think I have almost more subs than I ever have on Twitch right now. So, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Alf. I appreciate the 20 gifted subs just so casually, you know, with a little sneeze there. God damn it, man. What's up, nerds? We didn't get to play D&D as a group yesterday, my group, either, because one person got the con flu. Ooh, so I don't go to cons, you know? That's why I don't that's why I don't go to cons.
Cool,
nope.
Got one of them. Yay,
not by choice, anyway. Oh, Oler got a sub. Pog champion, Alf. That's fucking sick. Let's go. Family dinner until 10. D&D usually starts at 11 for me. Right, yeah. So I still talked about D&D yesterday a little bit because I had to talk to my little cousins who are all in their early 20s, and they're all young professional women going out into the world on their own. And it's so funny to talk to them because it's like, I'm in the car, I'm asking them what they're doing, how they've been, what they're up to and shit like that, you know, doing the catch-up thing. And it's like, oh, you know, doctor in her residency, just doing, you know, her specialization, whatever, fucking board exams, something casual like that. The other one's like, you know, doing this like something grant program, whatever thing for her marine biology degree in which she's gonna save the ocean. And then the other one is like, you know, a lawyer that's getting into politics and is aiming to be the president of the US one day, you know. And they're like, well, so what have you been doing, Evan? And I'm like, I've been God, I've been well, you know, I've been drawing dragons and stuff, and oh god, yeah, I've been just sketching some cat girls. Yeah, no, that was a tough conversation, man. I gotta get my shit together, right? But it was fun. So the rest of the family will be coming in today, and so they're all out to breakfast this morning. So I was gonna stream and get some work done, do some stuff, because I'm not a particularly fond of meals out anyway, because I can't eat shit when I'm out. So I was like, I'll stream, have fun.
Sexy with us,
you know, I'm not. They're never finding out about sexy withers. Nope. They're never finding out about sexy withers. Oh boy, yeah, that's a secret that we are all gonna take to our grave, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Yep. Better single one of them would know what a Twitch streamer is. You could just say that. The older people in your family may not, but the younger ones absolutely. They do know what Twitch streaming is, and they think it's cool. But they don't have a very good impression of it, because they are in the most affectionate way you can use the term, normies. Like, you know, when you say normies as in people that aren't involved in our bullshit, it's usually this kind of scathing, like, normies, right? But in this case, it's like, no, like high functioning, successful young individuals as normies. So, yeah, I was a little bit arcane, I guess. I don't know. My cousins is married and finished their PhD. The other is in university of biochemistry, and I sat there a VTuber. Ah, man. But they didn't, and they even know a VTuber. But did Ulner, did they know that you're a partner? Yeah, hold on. Did they know that you're a partner? Because here's the thing. Gar Gura recently just graduated. At the same time, Ulner has returned to streaming. Now, I know you're not supposed to speculate on the accounts, you know, the Doki Bird situation. You're not supposed to acknowledge that Doki Bird was whoever the fuck she was over at Niji Sanji. But is there a correlation, perhaps? Is Ulner the re-debut of Gargura? Do we have Gargura in our chat today? Maybe. I'm not gonna say yes or no. All I'm gonna say is Ulner is suspiciously cool, has a suspiciously cool model, and is also a partner. So you did show him the badge like you were proud. Oh no. No. Okay. Well, you know. Ah, God. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh man. I didn't even partner badge to show them. Either way, it's gonna be a busy weekend for me, so I'm gonna have to get a whole bunch of stuff done today, tomorrow, and on Sunday during the quiet hours when I'm deep and dark into my hovel at home. But I do want to be available, you know, like family's in town. I don't want to be a complete recluse stuck in my own work, doing whatever it is that I'm doing, sending out Patreon, drawing heinous things for the clients that I don't tell you guys about. Those things are not exactly priorities here, right? And although they are always priorities, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Sorry, Ulner, I haven't drawn Andy yet. I have the whole party here for our D&D game, but I haven't drawn Andy yet. I was going to try and get all the fan art and projects and things I need to done, and Meebobel was going to be kind of the last one in that lock, but I was not expecting anyone to die so early, so I'll find time probably before we start playing again to get Andy done. Storm Rider QV, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. So I do need to do some runes and some little quick environment sketching because we've got an adventure coming out soon. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Horizon adventure is actually coming out real soon. Did you guys know that there's an adventure coming out? Wait, hold on. I don't think I ever talked about it on a stream, did I? So, yeah, I want to get some art done for that today. So, I think maybe we start there. Arrange. And I'm going to demonstrate something to you guys today. I'm going to do a little art tutorial. See, normally I just talk about some bullshit and nobody listens because I'm monologuing about nothing important. But today, there is going to be a concerted effort in showing off the focus. Well, let me set this shit up. Showing off the focus of a professional artist. I'll demonstrate what it is to take your craft seriously. No distractions, no memes. There's no amount of any trolling that will possibly convince me to lose focus this morning. As I try to set this shit up because I forego before stream. Alright, there we go. Cool. So, we need to do runes for a little tiny part of Horizon that I haven't really talked about. Say, good to see you, dude. What's up? What's going on, Say? Thanks for the raid. Your mic is crisp, nice. Oh, thank you, dude. What brand do you use? I use a Shure. It's a Shure MV7. So it's not the big boy one that a lot of streamers use, but it's the one right under it that has USB or XLR cabling options. So, good morning, Say. Good to see you. Hello. What's up?
Please note,
what is up?
Has been up for half an hour.
Yes.
But he claims no distractions will happen.
Correct. They won't. And they haven't yet. Right? Thanks, Lurk Catson. Appreciate it. Yep. I told you. I will not be distracted. I will not be denied. Remove that. Okay, yeah, so I need a couple little more rune monoliths for the players to perhaps discover at some point in time. So, we need to do my favorite thing. Draw monolith. Draw monolith. Like our life depends on it. So, I'm also going to try making a little video about like recording sort of, you know, world building through environmental concept art. So these are also going to link into that. So we'll try and get through a bunch of them. And then I was thinking maybe a Friday sometime in the near future, we do a return to the Friday sketch requests. I'm not sure if that would be something that would interest you guys, but it has been a while since I did sketch quests, so I'm contemplating it. I know it's been a bit. I'm pretty sure people have items and stuff now they need again. No art happened today, but we have our own fish meta now. You have your own fish meta now. The lumped fish. I am familiar with the lumped fish. I'm glad you guys have your own meta now. Yeah, that's impressive. Good to see you, Say. If you guys aren't following Say, go over there and drop a follow. It's a good time over there. You're here twice now, Alf. What's up, dude? What's up? Haven't caught up with what you're doing. Are you drawing character concepts? So what I'm doing right now is a D&D adventure. So I'm making all the art for my D&D adventure that I'm writing so that I can actually have something to push into beta this month, because the writing is basically all done. I just have to do all the art and all the maps and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll be releasing it to our Discord for free. Hopefully people will play it and tell me if they think it's good or not. Where are we at here? Monolith. Okay, I think we're good. But yeah, so I'm trying to get a bunch of art done for that, as well as record some video process for some of the pieces that I've been working on. So here's hoping that we can get some work done today, because today has been a bit of a shorter stream, like I said. So I have to be very efficient.
Scenery? Impossible.
Right?
Also, hi.
Hello, Senix. Hello, how you doing? What's up? Good to see you, buddy. Good morning. Happy Friday. So I want to have the players wandering through the landscape and uncovering and discovering this, these kind of like Eldarin monoliths as they slowly reach the edge of the island or whatever exploration they're doing. So I want to have a bunch of just general concept art for them here and there, and I have a couple of ideas of them already. So we're just going to try and kind of super speedy, quickly grab some of those ideas and turn them into little sketches for our good players. But yes, that is the entire theme today. So I'm speed running it. I'm indistractable today, right? You cannot possibly understand the seriosity that I have right now. Lumpfish is very cute. I'm planning on drawing my avatar as a lumpfish merman for Mermay next month. So Mermay is canceled for me, unfortunately. Say. Mermay is canceled. I was going to do Mermay, and this chat misbehaved in such a profound way that Mermay is canceled at the Dragon's Claim. Because this chat, these Dragon's Claim members, say, if you can believe it, they suggested, they implied that I can't draw men. Yep. They said that. And you know how well behaved this chat is. Could you imagine them becoming that disgruntled that they would suggest that I can't draw something? So because they assumed that I can't draw men, I decided that fine, I will cancel Mermay, and instead we're doing Man-May. Yep. So every day in May, instead of drawing a pretty, you know, cool mermaid, we're just gonna draw a big hairy sweaty man with some sort of a large weapon. A great sword, a full axe, a full blade. It's an Avenger item right there. Anything like that. Hammer, scythe, and I'm not going to take any no's for an answer. I am not going to allow this chat once again to slander me. So Mermay's over. Mermay's canceled. Man-May is on the table now. And I didn't want this. I didn't want this. I wanted to draw Mermaid. I really did. I had ideas for it this year, man. I was going to do some cool shit. I was going to use Mermay as an excuse to world build the Azael. But now, it's over. It's canceled. It's done. Big, hairy, sweaty men. That's all. You can draw a big, hairy, sweaty merman? No, you can't. No, you can't. Everyone knows all mermen are basically hairless. come on. I have too many book talk girlies following me on TikTok to not know that, at least, right? Look, there's Insta, there's barely any men. I mean, if people would ask me to draw men for them, sure, I'd do it. But it's not my fault, right? It really isn't my fault. I can't, like, what am I supposed to do? Not take clients just because they, what in the fuck? Okay, whatever that was. Thanks, Photoshop. Appreciate it. Whatever, oh my god. I need somebody to remind me to unbind the crop tool. Just real quick. At some point in time. Just a quick little, like a Slack message, you know? Just unbind the fucking crop tool. That'd be great. Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, no, I'd be... What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just say when somebody wants a character designed for me, am I supposed to just say, no, sorry, I don't draw women anymore. I'm only taking man commissions. Is that what you want me to say? Because that's what would have had to have happened for me to get into a position where I would be drawing enough men the internet wouldn't think that I'm... And you know what? No, fuck you guys. I'm proud of that. I've been told and complimented very greatly by many D&D players that I... You know what? Someone told me that she wasn't ever going to consider getting art done of her D&D character because she just didn't think that anyone knew how to handle heroic looking women until she saw my art, and then she needed to commission me. So you know what? Screw you guys. Screw you guys. I've done nothing wrong. Okay? I am recording. Thank you, Thorkin. Yeah, What? What the fuck? Hey, what? Why did I do that, man? Hey, what? I'm so confused. All right. Okay, I think it's good. Thanks for reminding me. Thanks, bro. Yep. All right. That was weird. That was weird. Unbind your crop tool. Oh, thanks, Say. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, that's great. That's definitely exactly what I needed, that reminder. So I appreciate that. Yep. Look at me go. LARPing is an artist. I think I might have messed with the recording window, or at least the viewing window on the top left. Yeah. I think it's good now. I think we're good. I may be a shit artist, but at least I can LARP as a decent person who knows, or an artist who knows decently how to record their process. Alright, you guys can have one of your spheres here today. This isn't the Horizon orb that I'm canonizing, but I am making a monolith for you guys that is an orb. I hope you guys appreciate it, because I won't be doing this again. I hope that you acknowledge it, because yeah, it's not happening again anytime soon. You get like one, okay? You get like one, and then it's over. Okay. Alright. I think this is the monolith. So there's going to be a bunch of these scattered around Horizon and around various Shattered Sea areas. So this is not just Horizon concept sketches, but it's also concept sketch that can work across the Shattered Sea. So that's kind of what I'm intending it for. You remember to announce the stream? I did. He did not? Really? Wait. Wait, what? I did. 9:35 a.m. What are you talking about? It's right there. At everyone. Are you guys not getting the messages? Is it not working for some reason? Did Discord broke? That's yesterday's? It says 9:35 a.m. today. Are you not seeing it, Conk? Like, does this not show up for you guys? I'm lying? Okay, fucking next time you do that, mods time Conk out for the day. If I'm asking whether or not something's working and you're fucking around, just time him out for the day. God damn it. Like, trolling is fine, but if I'm asking you if something's fucking working or whatever, god damn it. Alright, as long as it's working. My Discord might be confused between my phone and computer. Really? Really? Party overcame and captured one of the Dominion druids who were conducting the experiments, questioned him, and then the kitty leapt in for the kill a bit late to the throat. Or a bite to the throat. What level is this, Atari? That's your D&D story? Yeah, what level is this? Because like I said, I need the D&D stories. Because if I can't play this week or next, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I finally have the itch again to play D&D. And I went in Vixie's chat yesterday, and I apologize for not playing D&D yesterday. And she said, you get your stupid ass out of here. I don't want to see you. I don't want to deal with you. I don't even want to pretend to know you. Evan, most days I pretend to be nice to you, but today I can't even do that. I was like, god damn. Okay, I'm sorry, Vixie. You know? So I might not have a D&D game to go back to at all at this point in time. Wasn't live for the record. My brain is just not working today. No, you're good. You're good. Third level. Okay, that's fine. Well, you know, I really do want to. I really do want to play through some Horizon like at a higher level if I can during one of the play tests, because I'm concerned about one sort of like theoretical group of players, and that is the players that can't stand being lower than like 5th or 6th level. Which I don't know if we have any representatives of their delegation in chat today. I generally don't see them that often. I don't know why. Maybe they don't like my stream for some reason. But generally, what I've noticed is there's a whole contingency of players that refuses to play D&D at anything less than like 6th level. 5th level's fine, maybe, but like 3rd level's the absolute bare minimum. They like the idea of starting level 1. They will cry and bitch and moan about how the game isn't designed to be played at 1st level, and you must have all of your kit, and oh god. So that's like a thing that I kind of am thinking of in the corner of my brain ever so slightly, is I wonder what it'd be like to try and scale things up in Horizon for a higher level party. I don't really know if it would change much. It might change some of the checks and puzzles and stuff, but I think if you scale everything up combat wise, it's probably fine, you know? You're probably good, right? Party using Molotov to blow up a tank? Wait, wait, what? You're playing some fucking Soviet era D&D? What the hell? You got Molotovs and tanks? Alright, that's cool. This fight was a mutant 6-legged mongoose. I kept moving because... I kept moving it in between every initiative count. That's terrifying. Yeah. Doing a Humblewood heist D&D session tonight. Oh yeah, that sounds cool. I'm glad people are playing like different systems and shit like that. I feel like an era of like a golden age of RPGs is kind of upon us. Like we're not in it, but we're at the very beginning of a new golden era of RPGs and TTRPGs. I have this instinct, this intuition, based on like things that have happened, I feel like there's a certain collapse of the giants that's kind of imminent, and with that collapse, with that fall, there is going to be room for some actual like really cool new players in the atmosphere. So the space is going to be populated for a first level start, but I'm down for whatever. And your kit is what you gain as your character grows. Yeah, I mean, I like low level D&D. My favorite level of D&D is 1. Because, like, to me, D&D is such a complicated game where you do all sorts of cool shit, right? And I love the idea of D&D that is, you know, the total experience, the role-playing, the combat. But within the various gameplays of D&D, I think people often kind of, like, do skip over everything that's not role-playing combat. And for me, there's an entire survival component to D&D that I like. There's an entire, like, sort of mini game of, you know, like town building and stuff that you can engage in that I think is really fun. There's an entire mini game of, like, character sort of like, I don't know, what would the word be? Like, kind of like a roguelike style thing of travel. And I think that travel and, like, those kind of things in D&D can be really, really fun if you make systems for them, and D&D doesn't. So, like, after, like, okay, just so you guys know where my head's at, my current sort of project list for the next little while is this month in April, is focused on Horizon. And with Horizon, then is going to come a bunch of the sort of races, classes. Oh, why is that? What is this loading thing? What the fuck? What was that, dude? There's some gremlins in Photoshop today. I swear. Okay. So, anyway, Horizon. Okay, let's start again. So, races and classes. May is going to be better Horizon. And also the big project. And this is the top secret big project. Now in June, that's when things get interesting, because in June we have an opportunity. Part of it will be a carryover of more big project. But at that point in time, once that's over with, I will have commissions and other things, but I'll also have a lot of room for doing other things in Eldara. So at this point, we can choose from one of a couple things. We can choose from the a one-shot game. So a cool little mini adventure, or something like the travel system, or the subclasses, or what else? What else do I even want to do? Travel system, subclasses, NPC, Mass Effect, D&D. That system I'm gonna write, or that little module component thing. So we'll have to talk about this after Horizon comes out as to which is the next thing you guys want to see, because the travel system might be the thing. Because I think that the travel system really makes low-level D&D actually quite fun. Oh, the canvas flipped. That's what the fuck happened. Okay. Alright. I'm good. I'm good. So there were gremlins in there.
Don't forget late June to early July we have the summer project as well that hopefully you and Ella, if she wants to, will be a part of Maple Mushai.
I thought that was later. I thought that was like July, August. Oh, I didn't realize it was that earlier. If it's that early, then Ella definitely won't be able to do anything because Ella's got a convention almost every single other week, between early June to mid-July.
We did
So,
it, boys.
What's up, Rob? 60 months. Wait, is that it? Is that the... That's the big one. Wait, you don't have your badge because it's a fucking founder badge. God damn it. Rob, thanks for the resub, man. Thanks for the 60 months. Holy shit, dude. Thank you for the 60 months, bro. My man. Good God, Rob. That's kind of insane, man. I'm a little speechless if I'm asked about it, to be honest. That's a long ass time. Never dropped your sub. Holy shit, dude. Well, thank you, Rob. You were of the first, and you were definitely the first to redeem your 60-month sub.
The reason I say that date is because I want everyone to meet each other and have talks before the main project starts.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That makes more sense. Thanks on bits, Alf. Appreciate it. Yeah, shit, Rob. 60 months, man. I really should have like a special alert for every 12 months, I think. You know? Oh, and thank you, Koala and Morpheus. Thank you for the follows, both of you. Welcome in, my friends. Good to have you. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate it. What monsters are in Eldara? There's a whole lot of them, Mo. A whole lot of very specific ones to Eldara. There's a monster manual or a monster compendium being developed right now by me for Horizon's release that'll hopefully be ready in a week or two. So it should be on the Discord actually pretty quick. Want to make my novel world into a D&D campaign? Do it. That sounds like a great way to do it. Listen, D&D is a great tool for world building. That's why I always say that D&D is a thing that I use for world building, and I don't world build for D&D. Having players exploring your world and telling you what they think is fun and interesting and what they don't think is fun and interesting is very, very valuable, I think. Very valuable. This is cool. Hi, by the way. Yeah, Lydia, good to see you. Thank you. Doing some quick rune designs this morning. See, I'm not being too dumb to check YouTube chat. You guys all think I'm a bad streamer. I mean, you're right, but at least I'm remembering to check YouTube chat this morning. Your brain went boom? Wait, why? Why, Alf? God, 60 months, man. That is, that's the 5-year right there. That's the journey. That's my, should I combine my affiliate anniversary and my birthday into the same day next week? Or should I have them be separate occasions? Because they're off by about a week, but I can just smash them into the same day. You know? I'm not sure. Could do it all as like a big celebration thing. A one-day hilarious giveaways, dice, sketches, all that kind of stuff. You know? I'm not sure what to do with that, because I'm not like a streamer that does really cool events like that all the time. For me, it's more just like daily grind stuff. So I kind of want to do something fun this year. It's a pretty big milestone, 5 years. You know what I mean? Can I ask for D&D advice? Absolutely. I'll do my best. We also have many accomplished DMs in this chat that can help you out as well, if it's something that is not in my purview. I figured out how to change the YouTube profile. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, YouTube profiles are... It's always funny, Mo, especially if I have people that I know are Twitch viewers and YouTube account holders. I mean, obviously everybody who has a Twitch account probably has a YouTube account. Trying to figure out who's who, you know? But yeah, you can change your profile pretty easily in YouTube. A couple of clicks. It's raining, but the beach episode will prevail. Wait, you're going to the beach today? Wait, what? Sleepy, don't you have school or some shit today? What are you talking about? When do your classes start? Thought you were getting ready for stuff. They had like supplementary, whatever, introductory, big university fancy courses and shit. Fuck you doing having a beach episode? I mean, good, but like, you know. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I don't need to sketch this out. We have another layer for that. I'm just being dumb. See, I said I wasn't going to be distractible today. And I'm not, but I did almost distract myself. So I will give that one. That's fair. You guys win that one. You guys can take that one. I need some advice because I'm doing a pre-written module. What do you do if the players go off from what is supposed to happen and they go off track? What do you do if you players go off track on a pre-written module? That's actually a really interesting question. So there's kind of two parts of that. The modules are merely a suggestion for a lot of it. So I think that there's still a general kind of consensus of you must be this DM to ride this ride. And so if you tell your players that they're in a town and they're you know, investigating something, and there's a fountain and an old man and a chihuahua that says "Yo quiero Taco Bell," you know, like, what do you do? And your players are like, well, I'm gonna go dig a hole and try and find like a buried treasure map. And you're like, well, okay. Sometimes it's good to do one of two things. As a DM, your flexibility is important in this moment because you have to have basically a goal understood for what you want to do or what the adventure needs you to do before you can kind of move on to the next little arc. And if the players do something that goes off that path and they feel like they're sort of accomplishing their goal by going in a different direction, well, that's cool, that's fine. You know, no big deal. However, if your players are going so far off the path, sometimes when you're writing an adventure, it's not in bad manners to remind your players that they're like, let's say you are in the town and you're trying to uncover a mystery of who killed the Lord, and you tell the players that, okay, there's all the places you can investigate, there's the, you know, apothecary, there's this, there's that, there's this, you know. And your players say, well, what about a town guard? Is there a town guard? They should know. And you look on the adventure and there isn't a town guard. And they want to go talk to the town guard. Okay, cool. Try and be flexible and extrapolate what you might talk about at the other places and give them that information there. But if your players are going way off the path and they're saying like, okay, well, that's cool, the town lord is awesome. You know what? I want to go find that buried treasure map and I want to go find loot in the cave to the north. And you're like, that's not the adventure that we're playing. It is not in bad manners to remind your players that that the adventure that you are all playing through together is an adventure to save the town and uncover the mystery of the town lord, right? And if your players are sort of just petulantly demanding that they can basically play their open world D&D game any way they want, those kind of players aren't able to handle pre-written adventures. And that's a great time to say, great, cool. So if your player character wants desperately to go off onto the, you know, into midnight finding treasure in cave dwelling parts of the world, that's fine. Can you please remake a character while that character is off going, you know, into the caves? Can you please make a character that wants to investigate a town? And sometimes reminding your players gently that they're supposed to create a character that signs up for the adventure is totally fine. And if some players just don't want to ever be told what to do, then that's totally fine. They can't tolerate pre-written adventures then. And you can't run a pre-written game for them. I've played with players like that in the past where I realized that they cannot be given a pre-written campaign. And for me, that's fine. I don't choose to play with those players all that often. Because if they can't handle a pre-written campaign, they also usually can't handle like a pre-gen story. And if you as the DM have to write a plot ahead of time that isn't just like some Bard's Tale shit of them going off for coin and cleavage and whatever they want to do, then that's fine. They just probably shouldn't play with those kind of players, you know?
Let them go to the cave. Instant death exists for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, instant death exists, but what I prefer to do is instant death. Thanks to the 100 bits moves. Instant death in the form of like fourth wall death, you know what I mean? Just subscribe. Thank you, Lydia. I appreciate it. Thank you. You lurked, but nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Koala. Thanks for lurk. Appreciate it. Man-made beards for buoyancy, bros on beaches. That ruined my day, Samurai. That one chat message just ruined my day. Yep. It's been a while. Now a stepdad and can't join streams as often as I like, but I still love your content, bro. Keep it up. Oh shit, thanks, Hamster. Congratulations. That's cool, dude. Right on, man. Sounds like you got a lot on your plate. That's awesome. Well, I'm proud of you. That's fucking sick. God damn. Well, if you're ever curious about the nonsense that I'm up to, but you can't join streams and you want to kind of keep up on some of it, Hamster, I did start posting short videos on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok this year. So if you want to still catch some of that stuff, some of the development stuff, some of the like dumb meme shit, but in like a very, very kind of short 45-second form, if you're curious, you can go jump over to any of those places and just see what's going on, and not have to, you know, come to a 5-hour live stream or whatever. Laugh a little like they just told a mildly funny joke and say, well, that's not the adventure I'd planned. So anyway, when you get to the apothecary, yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's kind of strange, Atari. I hear a lot of people saying things about how, like, they brag about how their world is like a complete open world. You can do anything. And I don't, how do I word this? I don't want to sound like I'm calling out anyone in specific or particular, because I don't know anyone who said that recently. I know people have said that recently. I don't know who, and I don't know if it's people from my chat or people I know or the other streamers. So excuse me if this sounds like I'm shit talking someone in particular. I'm definitely not. But I've heard people say a lot recently things like they're bragging about how their D&D game or world is like a complete open world game where the players can do anything they want. This is also definitely not me talking about Ashy, who's similar but definitely not doing this. It's a complete open world game. You can do what you want. You pick the adventure. You choose where you want to go. You follow the hooks. You do all this stuff. Like, when I hear somebody brag about that, to me, all I hear is they don't have an actual story. Which is fine. If you just want to have like a kind of a, you know, a popcorn and chips D&D game where you're just like, yeah, let's go to the town and kill the goblins. Why not? Hey, let's go and, you know, take a quest from the Adventures Guild. Kill the Balrog of Morgoth in Moria in Khazad-dûm. Sure, let's go do that. When I hear somebody sort of like brag about their game like that, I always kind of think like it's very strange to all the times that I hear people bragging about it. To me, it's kind of like it's not necessarily not something to brag about. It's just like not like that in like it's not that interesting, is it? A fully original world where you can kind of do whatever you want and there's no set plot, no direction, no stories happening. Right? Like, at least he gives a bunch of options and goes, okay, what would you like to do? Yeah, so that's why, like, because Ashy does open world style, I think you could mistake it for that. But I think Ashy has a very big story going on, and you can participate in any of the important arcs of that story in any different vector. And so you and I can say to her, Ulner, that we want to go participate in the Warfront because that's what we think we would probably be best at, or we can start liberating towns around and try and build up some sort of force. But it's all different ways of approaching one goal. The idea of the complete open world DMs that are like, you can do whatever you want. To me, I always kind of wonder, it's like, so do you have a plot or a story? And they're like, nope, the plot and the story I'll make up along the way as you're going on your players' adventures. And to me, it's kind of like, okay, then so that's just not very well thought through or thought like up or whatever. I don't know. It feels like storytelling by committee, and I never like design by committee. I think it always is a bad result or a bad choice. So is there like a sense then that people have of like an overabundance of railroading in D&D that this is like a reaction to it, where it's like, oh yeah, well the reason people say that, Evan, is because with all the railroading terrible GMs that don't let players do anything, then you need games like this where, like, is that the case? Because I don't know. I wonder what the problem is that's trying to be solved by people sort of like saying that, like, I have no story. You know what I mean? Because my favorite part of D&D is making a character that will in some way fit in a line with the story. Like, as a player character, my character is, like, best made in service to the GM's plot and storyline. Not the other way around. There's definitely, like, this dialogue on the internet in the last maybe 6, 7, 8 years. Maybe, like, 5 years. That the DM is their one job is to be in service of helping the player characters tell their story. And I actually think it's kind of the other way around. But it's one of those things that if the GM and the players are trying their absolute hardest for each other, then I think that's when you have the best games ever. You know?
Evan, when you're free, let's get in a call. It'd be nice if we could talk about DMing and
Sure.
stuff, so that I can grow. Cause I've been called a railroader before, and I've also been
Sure.
told by my players that they don't know what the story is supposed to be. I've
Interesting.
kinda given up and am now DMing the way I want to.
Okay. Yeah, man, we can talk about that. Yeah, I think that's an interesting topic to chat about at the very least. It feels like there's a reaction to it, like to a problem that I don't understand why, like, it's like, I don't understand who's complaining about their games like this, you know? Could be wrong. I can make up anything the players want on the spot. You get an adventure, but I might not be able to make or tie the beginning of the and the end together because I've honestly forgotten what I said 3 hours ago. To get to do what you want, but that's just not a wall, or that's not a well through this or thought out story. Yeah, you know. People have different preferences for playing. Some people are very plot heavy. Some people want to work through their own backstory. Some just want to show up and be told what to do. And some want to go and explore. Everything is valid. It's good to know what you like, right? And so this is the problem that I think that I'm seeing in general. Like when I say that this like open world sort of bragging thing, because it's not like they're just sort of announcing that they're playing an open world style game. It's like they're moralizing it, you know, as if to say that that's like the best way to play D&D. And it seems like there's a level of insecurity and defensiveness in there that I'm curious about. So I'm curious about like who's like, is there some like epidemic of people being accused of railroading, where now you have these DMs like, I'll never be accused of railroading ever again. My ultimate hot take about D&D is that there's probably like more D&D players that you shouldn't play D&D with because your styles don't align than you should. So like when somebody asks, like, every once in a while, I'll make a comment about how like finding D&D players for my game is tough, and I'll have like people that like offer to like play D&D with me in chat, you know. And I sometimes think to myself, like, that's very sweet they're offering, but I know the way you talk about D&D, and you couldn't pay me to get into a D&D game with you, you know. I think it's okay to like think that you have a different way of playing D&D and know that like certain people are gonna be so vastly different that you probably won't have a good time playing together. Remember, those open world games are rough because there's very limited cohesive story sometimes. Plot threads are followed. Other ones, they're ignored for a whim. Yeah. Old school D&D didn't have much of an overall story. Campaigns are basically meant to describe a general setting and region with some kind of kingdoms and factions. The DM was expected to just come up with all the storylines. Yeah. There's a transition in sort of like narrative direction at a certain point in time. It's allegedly stream, but I gotta drive myself to the store and pick up some stuff. So have fun, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, Lydia. Yeah, thanks for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. What monsters are in your world? Mo, all kinds. Dragons and Dorngoths and Cosmodors and even the Kagarinth from the Northern Shattered Sea. Abyssals. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of monsters. Didn't know more dragons at Teleria. There's like 3. Yeah, they're asleep. They're asleep, man. You want me to stop pestering you about games and stuff? Just tell me. I'd rather you know than keep me offering the want. Wait, what? Pestering you about games and just tell me. I'd rather know for sure than keep offering if you aren't interested. Would save you from being pestered about the stuff too. Did you did I miss something? Did you paragraph a line that I didn't see pasted? I was thinking, oh yeah, no, you're good. No. I wasn't even thinking about it, entities. You're good. You're good, man. You're chill. No, I'm good. Like I said, if I do get time at some point in time to play in a Pathfinder game, I would really like to. No, I mean this summer, to be honest, I really do want to play D&D a bunch with like a lot of you guys in our Discord and stuff. Oh, I see. Okay, I think I know what prompted that. So my comment about how like some people say that they want to play D&D or whatever, but I know they're just like so vastly different. Like I'm so very comfortable in saying that to somebody's face, saying like, yeah, I think we play a bit of a different D&D style. So that's all good. No. If that was a thing where I like knew I wouldn't like ever want to play in one of your Pathfinder games or whatever, I would just say so. I'd just say like, it sounds like we got a different D&D style, so I appreciate it, but no, it's good. It's good. You explain instead of fantasy babbling? Well, I mean, it's pretty tough to explain. I'm trying to stay very focused on the runes right now, Mo. We do monster development streams occasionally, and if you're here for one of those, I'd be happy to go in deep on them. Too many times I'm setting up the campaign, I'll tell my players this is a linear story, with changes due to your actions, but then one or two players will go off as if it's an open world campaign. Right. So how do you combat this? Scorebot Man, thank you for the follow. Hope I got that right. Thanks for the follow, dude. I appreciate it. So, yeah, that is a problem, I think. The way I handle it, and maybe this works, maybe it doesn't, but the way I handle it is I will say to my players ahead of time, I'll say like something along the lines of, hey, this is going to be an awesome game. Ooh, an awesome game that is a heroic fantasy in which you guys are going to be tracking through the secrets of the ancient past. So you're going to be going through the memories and histories of the region of Eldara, of Teleria, trying to uncover the secrets of the Eldari, the Aldarians. So this is going to be very much a mysterious conspiracy uncovering, fucking Da Vinci whatever quest, combat, dangerous game, high fantasy where you are off to save the world. So characters would be best made that have some sort of like either moral obligation to save the world or some kind of formal interest in the astral sages or the history of Eldara and Teleria. So please make a character that is lawful good, wants to generally do good in the world, and wants to adventure. And I find that when you sort of set players up like that, there's certain keywords you can use and certain phrases you can use that kind of mute a little bit of what I consider to be that like in the case of a very plot heavy game, a bit of a self-indulgent character backstory, right? Because if you're telling a story of the Lord of the Rings, but you want to tell the story of a character that has to like interact with their backstory quite a bit in a specific way, like thinking about characters that are interacting with their backstories and like really good stories and really good tales, things like, Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, these characters have very intricate backstories, but they don't require a certain setting or a position. They just require sort of events of heroicism to be able to sort of like reconcile their backstory. And so it's best to create a character where you don't know where you're going to go in the world, and to develop your story and tell the character story you want, you don't have to end up anywhere. You can just kind of be along for the ride and still feeling like you are progressing as a person for your character story, or even better, your character is sort of an archetypical character that fills in a hole for the party and for the benefit of your other player characters first, and then your sort of like dramatic backstory comes out of that second. And if everybody has characters like that, then you get this really cool, like, cohesive thing where everybody's, like, really excited about everybody's stories and shit. As opposed to anyone trying to, like, hog the hog the narrative for any amount of time. So it's very cool. You have to have a DM that knows how to balance that, though, and it is, I think, more of a tricky skill. And you have to have players that are all very good at communicating. But that is generally how I handle those kind of issues. If I was one of those, just let me know. I'll stop pestering you about it. No, you're good. You're entities. You are good, my friend. You're chilling. I appreciate your I really do appreciate your self-awareness and concern and desire to be open about that, but I think and I appreciate that, but you're good. You Gucci man. I'm also baby DM with only like 5-ish years of games, and there were hiatuses and stuff throughout, so I'm still trying to improve. Well, sure. I mean, experience does help out a lot with DMing, but there's one thing that experience doesn't do, and it doesn't make you a good DM. So there's like a cringe sort of like meme amongst the mods and some of the older TDC viewers. But if you see somebody come in that starts a sentence with like as a DM of 20 years, or as someone playing D&D for 15 years, and they try and sound authoritative on a topic because of that, you'll see mods and old viewers Pepe laughing because they know that that's an old joke of like, this guy's immediately full of shit. If you start a sentence like that, people are going to laugh at you in the stream, because your experience doesn't determine whether or not you are a good DM or not. Your experience only informs a certain body of work for you. You can be a DM that has 20 years of experience and still be a shit DM. Way worse than somebody who just rolled off the fucking bed and decided they were going to try DMing on a Thursday. As a D&D player of a few weeks, I totally know what I'm doing. Mods, can someone VIP owner? Yeah, can one of you VIP owner? Like again? Like, can I get like a second diamond in there? Like maybe on the other side of the partner badge, there's just like 4. It's like diamond book check mark, diamond owner, and then maybe like I don't know, maybe like the Overwatch League badge. Yeah, thanks mods, appreciate it. Cool. Eternal Dragon, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Good to have you. My boyfriend's PC raised an entire town and then ground the ground by spending 2 permanent points of Constitution. 10 out of 10 epic scene. That's the good shit I like in D&D. Yep. When you want Lord of the Rings and your players want Adventure Time, you have a mismatch that's not going to work. Right. And I think that the problem is if you have, you know what, Adventure Time in Lord of the Rings is a great example there, because I don't know what the fuck Adventure Time is, but I certainly know the people who like Adventure Time. So I think I know Adventure Time well enough. If you have somebody who's trying to play Lord of the Rings, a GM that wants Lord of the Rings, and you have players that are playing Adventure Time, those players are the players that go to Reddit and say, I have a bad DM. And that's why I'm always infinitely skeptical whenever somebody comes to stream and says I have a bad DM, because half of my brain is already kind of checked out, thinking like, do you have a bad DM, or is your DM just a different style of DM and you probably should know better than to play with them? But we never talk about aligning play styles, and that's not something Wizards wants you to talk about either. So WotC will never encourage the conversation of trying to find players in a similar play style. And this is not WotC's fault necessarily. WotC doesn't want to add any friction to the already difficult job of finding players. So WotC and everyone else is basically saying, if you can find 5 warm bodies that are agreeing to play D&D with you, go play.
I'm gonna look, let me know when you're gonna listen the music. I wanna come back and see your reaction, Meaningful Show.
Okay, probably gonna do my stretch break in like, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes or so, around there. Thanks, Lurk Alf. Yeah, I'll at you in Discord when I get it up. Still a Vertigo, thanks for stream and for the shout out always. Say you're a treasure and you make the world a brighter place. And your light has brought joy to my day. And I mean that. I mean that in like some Gandalf shit. Talking to Pippin or whatever. So, go take care of yourself. A bad roommate before, not really a bad DM. Sure, yeah. You have a bad DM, or are you a bad player? Or even just a misaligned player, you know? Right? Anyone says they have a bad DM, won't let them attack by drawing Yu-Gi-Oh cards instead of rolling dice. We all know what the problem is. Sure. And like, I hear that a lot. And I always think that there's this strange culture with YouTube and media and things like that, to have players trying to look for, and it isn't as bad as it was about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it was very toxic. When there was this whole basically society of YouTubers and people on the internet and Redditors where you get a lot of updates, a lot of views, a lot of votes and stuff on shit by talking about like videos like 10 ways to know if you have a bad DM. And it would be all very weird stuff like if you want to go, you know, try sneaking into the castle and your DM tells you that they want you to fight your way into the castle, you've got a bad DM. And it's like, well, no, what if your DM just spent 15 hours on combat prep and has the most badass battle map ever? Or maybe the combat's going to lead to something that's like important for the narrative. Yeah, maybe the DM is narrow-minded and unimaginative, or maybe they had something they had to like pre-planned. Maybe you saying that you didn't want to go with their pre-planning is stressing them out and you're the asshole. You know, I don't want to use an autism example for all of this, but I did have a DM that's a friend she stopped DMing because she said that she made D&D games the way her tism demanded it, which was she would prepare super good, super well developed things, but she couldn't handle it breaking off the path. And so she always said to her players, if you stay on the path and like run the story, like you'll have the best time ever. But if you try and deviate too much, I'll tell you when I'm a bit uncomfortable. And I thought that was so interesting that she set that expectation with her players, and her players were always just like, hey, can I try doing this? And she'd be like, I didn't prepare for that. And instead of her players saying, wow, you're a bad DM for not preparing for it or for not winging it, they'd be respectful and say, oh, cool. Well, did you have anything else prepared for this particular encounter, or were we intended to kind of go through the gate? And she'd say like, you're kind of intended to go through the gate here. And it's like, okay, man, like, and whatever. And as far as I know, her players loved her game. So that's why I'm just always like a little reluctant to say people are bad DMs when somebody is calling out their terrible DMing experience or whatever. You know what I mean? Welcome in, Dragon. Right now, I'm not having to deal with those derailings because I'm doing a new campaign with different players. I'm more enjoying setting up the world building, like I set up everything in the universe. Matt Mercer effect is still real, I think. People expect something out of their DM. When maybe like I'm always like a proponent of honoring the DM, and if the DM that is a good DM is the DM that cares. Everything past that is just style. If your DM cares and your DM wants you to have a good time, but you don't enjoy something about their game, they're not a bad DM. And you're not a bad player either. You just probably shouldn't play D&D together. You know? For some reason I was like improv, so I'm fine with people going off the rails as long as they are still heading in the same direction as what was planned. So that's also it's also a way to be creative. If you're creative enough, you can give your players the sense of complete agency for the players that want it, but you're very carefully pushing them in the directions that you want to anyway. And I've had players like that, players that they want to test the limits of everything. They just want to see how far they can push, poke, and prod the world, and they always kind of found themselves ending up basically exactly where I wanted them to. So yeah, that does take a lot of really kind of in-depth improvisational skills, but if you're comfortable with it, and I like it, I think it's fun. I think it's a fun challenge. If you like it and you're comfortable with it, you can basically always ensure that your players will end up where you want them anyway. So happy with our DM. He lets us skip the entire fight because a character called up some favors. I rolled high enough to call Asmodeus, playing a Devil Satyr mix. That's cool. It's kind of calling in the big guns. That's all right. You like skipping fights though? What's your opinion on rage bait? I don't really have much of an opinion on it, Mo. It's a tactic people use on the internet to get people mad. It's clearly a good tactic. I mean, if you look at basically the entirety of modern media and the news organizations, it's predicated off of rage bait, but I think you probably mean more in like the YouTubian sense, right? In which case I'm overall pretty meh about it, unless it's funny. There's a real difference you can see when a player is either invented or just sort of shows up. Yeah. Yeah, right? There should be like some kind of like a like a D&D dating site. I know people have memed about this, like Tinder for D&D players, but it's built off of a D&D questionnaire where it's like, what kind of games do you like? What kind of fantasy stories do you like? Right? Because I bet you if you told me your top 5 favorite fantasy franchises and stories, I bet I could tell you whether or not you and somebody else would match up and play a good D&D game together. I bet you. Maybe almost certainly. Maybe 5's not enough. Maybe if you gave me your top 10 sort of favorite fantasies, whatever, books, franchises, stories, movies, games, top 10 favorite fantasy things, I bet you I could properly match you up. Right? Because Witcher players are not playing Dragon Age, for instance. Right? Lord of the Rings players are not watching the D&D movie. And of course, there's some overlap, but the archetypical player or Lord of the Rings watcher is not watching the D&D movie. So it's kind of funny, but I bet you could actually figure that out pretty easily. Figure out if people are going to match up for good D&D games or not. Infernal gladiatorial ring, and my character is the definition of a rich kid. Someone can do the work for her, she'll take it. That's cool. Social political movering is just outsmarting an encounter to being dismantled. I still reward by beating the combat normally. Sometimes you can't necessarily give them like the loot and stuff, but you can give them other things to out the benefits. You got 99. Yeah. I play very different D&D than I consume fantasy. How would you account for that? Wouldn't impact the general rule set. Like, as a generalization, I bet you anything that it would work for most people. There's always going to be outliers. There's going to be someone that like wants to play a very traditional Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones style game, but all they watch is like fucking anime and like Rick and Morty and shit. And those people are enough of a deviation from the norm that I'm not worried about them. There's always gonna be deviations from the general rule. Most people would line up very well, so I wouldn't even really try and account for it. I would just allow for there to be a certain variance of you know, people that don't kind of fit in. It has to be made normalized for the general population of like D&D players and general nerds to be an effective tool. There's of course always going to be people that slip through the cracks, but there might be something more telling in the kind of media you consume that would tell maybe about the type of stories that you like in your D&D game that you could still align with. So I'm confident that there'd still be some usefulness there, but I'm also not gonna admit that there won't be people that are deviations from that. Maybe some that are extremely difficult or functionally impossible to work around through. Some means in combat is likely an easier way out. Yeah, for sure. Giving players like rewards for non-combat victories is like a thing I love doing. Inspires a lot of creativity. There's like very few combats that a player in my game has to fight out if they really don't want to. Sometimes it is though, like, yeah, sometimes the bandit says your money or your life. And you're like, but don't you have a wife and kid? And they're like, I'm gonna stab you. You know? A couple of my players got into this really bad habit where they wanted to interrogate everyone. And they thought that everyone could be interrogated and like there could be like some sort of like useful information gathered from them. And so they were like, they were ambushed by bandits on a road that was told to be very dangerous because of banditry and stuff like that. And they were like, you know, okay, the last guy, let's try and knock him out instead of killing him. They did it successfully again because they're just bandits, right? And the players were sitting there interrogating them, and being like, "What do you know about this thing? And why are you attacking us? And what, you know?" They're like trying to go into like deep interrogation mode, and the bandit was like basically just like refusing to talk to them. And they're like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do like a can I do like a persuasion check to try and get him to talk about like this or whatever?" I'm like, "Sure, go for it." And I think it was Jackie. I think she got a natural 20. And she's like, yeah, oh yeah, I got natural 20. Okay, yeah. Now tell us what you know about this like secret cult organization. I'm like, oh, he spits in your face and shits his pants, and then smiles at you. She's like, what? I got natural 20. He has to tell me. Like, he's a bandit. Like, what? He's an illiterate guy that lives on the street stealing people's money so he can go into town and buy drugs. Like, it's fine. Not every single NPC or monster or whatever can be maneuvered around like that. That was a fun day. Also, An Elf and an Orc Had a Baby is an amazing book extension for hybrid characters. I've never heard of that. I'm basically treating sort of like parentage in Eldara as the blood of the mother spawns the children. There's no halvesies. Because if you start trying to count for halvesies in 10,000 years, you have to do one of two things. You have to either make a presumption that people are choosing not to interbreed, and there's some sort of like discrimination there, which is like not a topic people want to tackle in fantasy, or you have to admit that basically there's not a purebred human, elf, anything ever again. And everything is just various shades of gray. If you want to have the kind of timeline of like 10,000 years of history that we love in fantasy, and like complicated rules on interbreeding with every other, you know, whatever race, species that you have in your game, it's like a really messy topic that I'm just avoiding entirely by saying the blood of the mother spawns the children. If you want to create some weird fantasy version for that in your own Eldara, go for it, but canonically that's what happens. How should I prep a world if I have no clue what type of character will be made? Trying to start with a short campaign maybe in your world. How you prep a world if you have no idea what the kind of characters will be made? Well, a good way of doing it then is to try and prep the world, to try and tell a story that you think you can tell really well, and then articulating that to your players, and saying, hey guys, I really want to tell this kind of story, so could you make characters that fit within that kind of story? So if you're doing an Indiana Jones, like, treasure hunting kind of game, that's going to maybe spawn or evoke a certain, like, archetype of a character that people will want to play. If you say we're playing a high seas sailing game in a pirate-infested part of the world, that spawns another kind of character. So I think being very honest about the kind of world and the kind of story you want to run with your players before they make characters is the best way to do that if you want some sort of like cohesion. So the bandit will surrender if they're being beaten hard enough, though. Then the leads to a different choice, right? Yeah, persuasion, diplomacy, intimidation, and mind control. Well, it was just funny that they sort of thought that they could get useful information out of every single person. You know, that they're trying to like uncover this like secret or whatever, this cult, and they just assume that every last person they encountered in the adventure that have nothing to do with this like conspiracy might have some sort of deep information for them. Sometimes it's just a bandit, though, you know. The like dilemma for the paladin or the lawful good characters are like, do we kill the bandits or do we like arrest them, take them to the town guard? That's like an interesting dilemma, I think, to have for characters. But the idea of like, yeah, there were also other things too that were like, they would expect the bandit to say or do something by triggering the event of tying the bandit up. And it's like, nah, man, ball's in your court, bro. You're the one who tied him up. You're kind of dictating the flow of this. You know, it's kind of on you right now. Can't catch a break. Little guy out there doing their things. Yeah, right? Just trying to do some banditry, man. Just want to your money or your life. They don't want no trouble. They just want to see what's up. Keen on pixel art. Pixel art's cool. I like it. I don't really use it really because there's not much application for it, but I think pixel art is a great way of adding a nostalgic charm to work. If I had a game that I was building or something, then there's a high chance that I'd do it in some sort of a vintage, like retro art style, like pixel art. But it's a tool, I think, less than a style. But it's starting to become a style, so it's kind of neat. Not much in there for me, unfortunately, for pixel art. So Can't really imagine doing much with it besides just some like intentionally kind of like retro looking fun little projects or whatever. Not everyone who interrogates knows everything if they know anything. Or who's interrogated. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I had to really emphasize that to them, that like sometimes the bandit that smells like piss is just the bandit that smells like piss. Right? Right? Sometimes the bandit is just he's just a guy, right? He's just chilling. One campaign player is encountered and scrapped with a group of bandits that had an abnormally large money reward for their capture during the fight, and in ensuing interrogations after being caught, they realized they were essentially sent after the local Robin Hood, which they let go for a bit of a fee. That's cool. That is also, I think, though, partly on the like the player's side of things. Like if that's what you're going for, your quest is to like to go fight the bandits, that's different than like the bandit that my players are trying to interrogate was literally a random encounter of me giving them like a, okay, you guys are traveling for 3 days, like let's see what happens. And I pulled out the big sheet and I'm like, okay, on day 1, oh my god, your wheel breaks, and do a skill check thingy and whatnot. And they're like, okay, cool. On day 2, oh my gosh, okay, on day 2, you hear rustling in the bushes, bandits jump out at you, roll for initiative. And they're and like the players were anticipating that those bandits were the ones that had, you know, some sort of like deep secrets or whatever. So yeah, that's why it was a little bit funny. There's also like a sense of awareness, I think, of like where you are in your journey. You know, what the DM's doing for you, what you can access, and what is maybe left best, I don't know, in the hands of the wink and the nod of the D&D contract between DM and player. When Pound Spider-Man summed up the villain really well, you have the ability to cure cancer. Why are you turning people into dinosaurs? Evil guy, I don't want to cure cancer, I want to turn people into dinosaurs. Yeah. Yeah, that's, Yep. Yep, that's, oof. That's a panel right there. Play a vampire knight who was sired by his squirrel semi-joke character. Oh, God. How is it a semi-joke if it's a fucking squirrel? Nearly blew up the party 3 times in the same session with Fireball. I didn't even know at the time that it was that destructive. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Alright. I figure out how to stick these things to the rock face without it being a little awkward. Trees growing out of all kinds of nonsense. Shrubberies and bushes. I gotta do a bunch of these like rune sketches just so I have a good sense of I don't know, just like different things I can like show the players or offer them when they come across different monoliths and runes. I mean, definitely a big important part of the story is finding something from almost every rune site. Tips for combat. Tips for combat, I try and keep combat cinematic and extremely quick. I encourage players to not take too long on their tactical decisions, to know where they are at in the fight, like count, and I demand my players know how to play their class. If it's like the first day and somebody's not playing D&D like ever before, yeah, I'll help them out, or I'll usually ask a player to help them out. But if it's like week 5 or 6 or somebody doesn't know how to play their class, I will kindly ask them to put the time in and learn how to fucking play the game, because it just makes combat take too long. So I like really snappy, really speedy, really cool combat that kind of feels very cinematic and fun, very descriptive, very flashy, very flowy, but ultimately very quick paced. Otherwise people get bored. I saw the worst person ever that I ever saw run combat. It was a guy who came up, a World of Warcraft player who my mom knew, who was in our guild, it was complicated. One of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my life was inviting my mom to play fucking World of Warcraft with me. Anyway. My parents might have stayed together if I didn't. Regardless, she invited one of our guildmates up to play or to hang out for like a weekend or whatever. And he's like my age or whatever. So like, okay, like I did not like this guy. This guy was like super obnoxious. Did not like him. But now he's in my house and I'm trying to be nice. And so he says that he wants to play D&D. And like, my mom hasn't played D&D in years. And I'm like playing D&D with the boys pretty often. So I'm like, okay, sure, we can play D&D. I don't remember if it was like, if my other friends were there or not, or if it was just Ella and I and him and my mom or whatever it was. But this guy took so long to play through combat. We spent like 5 or 6 hours in one fight. And that was like a turning point for me where I was like, I will never be that trash of a DM that combat is that long and awkward, that takes that long and is not even fun. Like, this wasn't like cool, like Balrog falling through the sky, jumping to different platforms, skill checks, boss fights, like a really cool cinematic combat for 6 hours. This was like one game board with like 12 goblins and 6 players. And dude ran combat at a fucking snail's pace. And I don't think we even finished it. I think at a certain point in time I was like, okay, cool. Well, yeah, I gotta go and do some things or whatever. Okay, I'll see you guys later. You know? So, Squire, not Squirrel. Oh, okay, that changes the meaning of that. Yep. That changes the meaning. Yep. So I try and make sure combat is incredibly snappy if I can. Like I said, cinematic but snappy. I'll ask players once in a while to describe something to like spice it up, and I'll like describe the blows and the bangs and shit like that to kind of give it that real flair and sense of movement and drama. But I'll often describe the blows for players in just the quick little things here and there, unless a player really wants to, in which case they kind of start to learn how to take charge in that moment. But yeah, always keep it fast paced. Sacrifice it being cinematic at the cost of it being fast paced. No one wants to spend an entire day in combat unless that combat is extremely rewarding, and almost no combat is that rewarding unless that's like something you've been planning for a long time. You let my players know who is up next so they can plan their turn. I don't do that. I just remind my players who they're after for one round, and then I try and get them in that, you know? It'll be like, okay, Ashy, what are you doing? Only you're up next. You're after Ashy. And then I'll do that once, and then that's kind of like it. That's like I'll say the word, like, you are after Ashy in combat. So that the next turn. That works in some groups, that doesn't work in others. Like, our game that we have on Thursday is, like, very memeful. It's very fun. I don't know if I worry that it's maybe not the kind of D&D Ashy wants to run. I hope it is. I hope Ashy's just having fun. Because we're definitely not a very serious game on Thursdays. It's just a lot of fun hanging out, friends bantering, kind of beer and pretzels D&D-ish. It's really lovely, though. But I worry that it maybe not be the kind of D&D Ashley wants to run. She seems happy, but I should probably check in on her with that. But yeah, that can get a little distracting when you're like, I try and really hard to remember my turn order. So as soon as I see that shit on the initiative tracker, I'm like locked in, ready to go. I'll have all my like actions prepared ahead of time. Very rarely will I run into combat with my player or character not know what I want to do. So I might ask a clarifying question or two, but then I'm like, cool, going here, using the strike for a 24 against the AC. Hits, great. I'm gonna move him this way, deals 15 damage, and I'm going to say something dumb, and then that's my turn. So it's like 20 seconds in and out. I'm done with my. I'll enjoy telling my players like that. Like I said, I'll enjoy telling them that once, and then hopefully they get a sense of where they are in the turn order. And I find that if the snappier your combat is, the more focused they are, and the more they're able to sort of like stay locked in. So if your combat's really snappy and really fast and really cinematic and interesting and involved, then your players tend to know their initiative order and they tend to know their actions. They tend to ask less questions about the board. Overall, combat goes really fast in my games because I'm trying to direct it really well. So when it comes to bad players, one person I know played a noble that hated one on non-human characters. Jesus Christ. Dude, what is in my eyes in paragraphs today? I'm having a hard time reading paragraphs. Oh, God. I think I might have had migraine this week or something like that. My brain will like look at lines of text more than like the standard like 3 message or like 2 to 3 chat message line. And my brain's just like completely like, no, fuck you. Okay, I'm gonna try hard today. Ugh, try harder. Okay, that's fair. Sometimes if the DM needs to just quickly excuse a player. Yeah. And thanks for the follow, Drink Water. I appreciate that. Oh god, okay, alright, I'm gonna get through it. I feel like I jumped over some hurdles in the last week or so in drawing, but I also have the urge to take a more painterly approach to things now. There'll be any overlap in skills learned when I switch to, or I focus more on drawing heavy style and keep it. Nope. Proper fundamentals are practiced in sketching, applied in sculpting and painting. And you will, if you're practicing proper classical fundamentals, you will use all of them. If you want to start exploring painting fundamentals, there's a couple books you could buy, but I again, my advice is always buy literally any book tutorialing on it and follow along. You'll get more from that than almost anything else. If you're unsure, like, don't second guess yourself. Almost any like older looking good book on painting or drawing or whatever will have some good tips in it. You won't do any damaging tips to like your process or whatever. Like, focus on the style of work that you want to make. Sui, thank you for the follow as well. Welcome in. Honored to have you. You're frustrating players who just take forever to figure out what they want to do. Literally 3 to 5 minutes of futzing about on their phone and figuring out what their bonus reactions do. If I'm also playing, when it gets to me, fire 2 arrows at that guy, roll damage, I'm done. Yeah, right? I mean, yeah. I think that like do you think, Atari, because you're somebody that I respect your DMing style quite a bit. I think you know, I haven't had the opportunity to play with you yet, but we talk about this stuff a lot, and we kind of tend to have similar, we arrive at similar conclusions. Do you find that if you are in good form as a DM, you can take players that are normally not good in combat and really help them excel at being quick and snappy? Or do you think that there is like a phenotype of player that just needs to take, they just need to dirtle, they're just there to starfish? Or do you think that there is like a level of responsibility that a good DM and leadership a good DM can show that can take almost any player and turn them into like a snappy combatant? I lead them through their possible actions. Interesting. So for you, it's like a simplification. That's a really great way of thinking about it, actually. Is some players might be too overwhelmed, and if you help them simplify to their like sort of like effective moves, then that can like really get them going, maybe. I should say I also play with a bunch of war gamers who desperately want to be tactical, and that's totally fine too, though. You know what? That's a great thing. If you play with a group like that they want to do that shit, and they want you to make combat as difficult and challenging for them, and they want the tactical stuff. The thing is that if they're war gamers that want it to be tactical, then they know what they're doing because they're all locked in. A lot of these tips and issues come from the issue of like, someone's talking about like, oh yeah, you know, hey, how'd you handle the fucking graduation ceremony of Gargura? And they're talking and just having fun in combat, and then you get to one of their turns and they're like, what's that? What's going, what are we doing? That's the issue. Combat can take a long time, but if everyone's like locked in and like really into it and like really enjoying it, that's totally fine too. That's lovely, by the way. When you have a combat like that once in a while, where you can make it so intense and so important and so tactical and difficult that your players are all locked the fuck in, combat will take a long time and turns will take a long time, but it won't feel like anything's dragging or lagging because it's like a tactical discussion, and that's beautiful. Rare, but I think it's beautiful. You know, that's really cool if you get a group like that once in a while. They know what they want. Ooh, they know what they want. They're there for it. The distraction's the issue. Like I stopped playing D&D with a friend because he kept wanting to play World of Warcraft while we were playing D&D. And so in combat, you'd be hearing him on his keyboard. You know, and then it'd be his turn. He'd be like, "What? It's all. I'll attack the guy I just attacked." And you're like, "No, bro, you just killed that guy." He's like, "Oh, are there any other guys around me?" Like, yeah, there's 4. I'll attack the one on the left. Okay, you're attacking the one at full hit points. No, the one that's almost dead. So I stopped playing D&D with him because that sucked. Which is funny that I say that because I played World of Warcraft during Ella, Dasho, and I's Star Wars game almost all the time. I would herb and mine almost the entire time we were playing D&D and RPing. Because the herbing and mining for me was, it was a way for me to like kind of like fidget. So I didn't even know what I was doing. It was automatic. This wasn't during Legion, so I was flying a set path around Suramar, collecting Starlight Roses or whatever it was, over and over and over again. And I'd farm like 70 to 200,000 gold a night. We were playing D&D. It was awesome. We just finish, and then we would get into combat. And I just land somewhere, and I'd flip over to roll 20. You know, it was awesome. I used to do WoW fishing while I was playing World of Darkness. I'm gonna start fishing during our D&D game. Not like finding pools fishing, but just leveling my fishing. Just click the button fishing while we're playing D&D. Oh my god, Ulner, that's genius. 5 head. Holy. Yes, because I used to also fish while we were playing D&D as well. I wouldn't do the pool thing or whatever. Or what I would do is back in Legion you had a special artifact weapon for fishing, and it had a timer, like a ability on it. Every 5 minutes you could teleport to a nearby pool. I wonder if it still works actually. And so I'd just be fishing the water, and every once in a while I'd glance down and see the teleport thing was off. I was like, oh cool. I'd click it and it would just bounce me somewhere else, and I'd fish the pool and then like keep fishing for a while. Oh my god, that was so much fun. Because there's something to fidget with while you're playing D&D, you know, but it's not so engaging or distracting that you can't immediately stop doing it and like pay attention to combat, or that you can't be talking around it. That's a great idea. If that fucking if the Underlight Angler still works in I bet it doesn't, but if it still works in whatever War Within, dude, I'm gonna do me some fishing while we're playing D&D. Holy, actual genius. Move, shoot the guy, or maybe attack with the cantrip. Right. When I need an ability check, I usually say, let's do dex check. It's on the left side of your sheet. Roll that die. You know, add the dex modifier. You jump over the rolling log. Right. And you're okay doing that with experienced players, or is that more for new players only? He's playing Outlaw Rogue. Oh god, I don't even know what he's playing. Yeah. He'd just be sitting, like, he'd be in a dungeon while we're like playing D&D. The only thing I can do whilst playing D&D is listen to a stream. Like, if I can listen to Ashy of Hearts stream while playing, or while in a dungeon, that's great. But I can't. If I was in a dungeon, I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't listen to a real video that I had to pay attention. I wouldn't be able to do shit if I was in a goddamn dungeon. Even if it's just like a chill dungeon, like a heroic or whatever. Will you be mentally present? I think it's okay. Yeah, it helps. It helps with fidgeting, and like I know players that are like that they need to be able to do something to help with like the kind of the fidget or whatever. Some players are doodling while we're playing D&D or whatever. There are certain things in MMOs that are really good for that. Ella used to every once in a while do greater rifts in Diablo 3. Because when you're playing a GOD Demon Hunter and you're clearing speed rifts, like speed 100 rifts or whatever, and let's say your max rift is like 130, and so you're getting GR 100s done in like 2 to 3 minutes, and you're just basically right clicking through the day till the end until you have to push buttons on loot. She would do greater rifts and stuff sometimes during our D&D games, and it was fun. But again, it's like never like stressful or strenuous enough that she can't pay attention, that she isn't paying attention to anything, and it's never distracting enough that she would need to like stop doing, or like it was stressful to stop doing that when it was her turn or whatever. or that she couldn't pay attention to roll 20 or something like that. So most I could do is probably do greater Diablo 3, but not much past that. That's well, I guess we'll see in May when we come back for D&D, Older. We'll see what everybody's doing. It's just you, Vixie, and Ella all doing greater riffs while I'm fishing and Ashley's asking us where we want to go. Oh god, okay. Yeah, as long as it isn't distracting, right? My previous players knitted while she played. That's cute. I kind of like that, actually. That's nice, man. Just knitting. Being an old lady. Just doing it. Just getting it. That's funny. Yeah, it is really funny, actually. I think Ella like polishes dice when we're playing D&D. Because sanding and polishing dice is like something that really does take a lot of time, but very little kind of mental focus for a large portion of it. When she's doing initial sands on it, it requires a ton of focus, but when she's just polishing dice, it's very time intensive, but she can just kind of turn her brain off and just do it. I think she does a bunch of that while we're playing. I don't know. Experienced players are much the same, maybe not. Lead them through the mechanics of roll, but I ask them move first, attack the guy or this guy, arrogant or cantrip, way of prompting them to make a fucking decision and stop waiting for D&D Beyond to tell them what to do. Tari, do we just ban D&D Beyond from all Rumsveldara tables? I'm kidding. Guys, I'm kidding. You can play D&D Beyond. You can play D&D Beyond. It's a joke. Oh god, I'm gonna get canceled. I'm gonna get canceled. D&D Beyond's gonna find me. I'm gonna say, where is that little piece of shit? Trying to tell people not to use our service. Look, man, I like D&D Beyond. I just think that you need to know how to, like, play the game before you use D&D Beyond. It's an added little challenge there for some people playing D&D Beyond. You know what I mean? I just thought about it. There's a reason I had handout character sheets at conventions. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's too many tabs. So the reason I don't love D&D Beyond for a lot of like experiences I've had is I've had players that have learned how to play D&D on D&D Beyond that don't know how to play D&D because they just like D&D Beyond does it for them. So the example I always use is I use like old 3.5 sort of style modifiers as well as 5th edition advantage because I think it's an elegant system put together. And so sometimes a person will do something really cool. Like they'll go to do like an intimidation, right? And they'll say, okay, before we go intimidate the guard, I'm gonna like take like, I don't know, the blood of the thing that we were carrying with us, and I'm gonna smear it all over my face, and I'm gonna cast like Vision of Dread or whatever, and then I'm gonna go try and intimidate them. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. That's pretty clever. Sure, like yeah, roll a intimidation with advantage and add a +5. And the player would be like, okay, intimidation, advantage. With advantage, that's a 23. And I'm like, great, now add +5. You're like, how do I do that? Like, why? You just take the roll that you got. And they're like, yeah, so it's a 23. Like, and then you just add +5 to it. They're like, well, how do you add +5 to the intimidation check on D&D Beyond? Like, well, you know how you just told me your intimidation was a 23? You're like, yeah. Add 5 to that. You're like, I don't know how. Like, well, what's 23 + 5? You're like, 28. It would be a 28, but I don't know how to do that. I had to say to them, say the words, my intimidation is a 28. Like, okay, my intimidation is a 28, but I don't know how to do that. Okay. Okay. Okay, we got some problems here. We got some problems here. I'll save the orb? Maybe. Not if I stream long. Not if I stream long, Nick. If I stream, do an absolute streamathon this week and run, or next week, and run that timer into the ground, then you guys can't stop me. The orbathon will be over. And your precious orb will be gone, wiped from history. Because they don't add their modifier to that roll, their campaign diaries won't be completely accurate. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, I do like the drama of seeing people's rolls in, like, Roll20 or whatever, or D&D Beyond. I think that is fun. But I just think that it's a little bit much sometimes when people don't know how to play the character without the tool. Because there's so much stuff in D&D that it's like, add this modifier, take this strange conditional bonus, or whatever, to be able to, like, do something cool. And if you just, like, have no clue on how to do any of that, then it can kind of get in the way a little bit, I think, of a fun game. At least that's what I've seen, personally. Maybe you guys have seen something similar or different. Who knows? It's my only reluctance with that tool. If you worship the orb, it will take care of your rolls. Okay. 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 I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens if the Orbathon continues, right? If the Orbathon continues past the 24th of April, like, what do we do? What do we add to it? What do we, you know? You know what we could do to save, if I really wanted to save the Orbathon, is I could just make subs no longer count, and then you guys can't rely on Alf to carry for you anymore. You know what? The Orbathon has actually been saved, so I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to disable subs. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. Ha! Checkmate, Orbers. You will not stop me. Darth Disc will be more powerful than either of us. Can I get my Rob Alexander trees in here? Do my best, alright? How about railroading, right? I'll do it. Mm-hmm. Okay. This nice little, like, mountain thingy here with a little monolith being overgrown with a big orb. Oh, God. You guys are gonna lose your minds over this, aren't you? Yeah. I know not what I do, apparently, here in giving you guys an orb monolith. Well, you guys did save the Orbathon, so I think it is actually like up. If I stream only 5 hours a day for the rest next week, I think it is actually good, right? That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's 4 days it needs to be fully, and if I'm gonna end stream a little bit earlier this week or today, because I gotta go out and do family things, then I probably won't be live for another more than the 2 hours that are up there. So all of you have to pray that I don't go live for any super long marathon streams next week. I guess. Damn. Orbolith, yeah. More or less at this point. Man, I fucking love drawing runes. It's like my favorite thing. Except not drawing Runa. I drew Runa once, and that was enough for me. I do not need to draw Runa again. That was good enough for me. Okay. Definitely don't need to draw Runa anymore. I got weird DMs after I finished that piece of art, so. I wonder if I can put a little structure on this for scale. A little structure of some kind of a... What would I do? Oh, right. Aruna. Yeah, thanks. Forgot about that. We'll put a little Aruna on here for scale. Because I feel like Staffman, we can put Staffman up on here. Just scaling the mountainside. You know? Staffman for scale. You like a little building or something? What could tell a little story here? What could tell a little tale? Something down at the base of it. Let me try something here. Let me get a reference for a type of roof. I want like a little Tibetan roof or something. Kind of square roofs. With a slight tilt to them. Very boxy structures. Where do we put it? Where do we nestle it? Or in like here maybe? Like that. Or is it better that it's just like completely a natural monolith? I don't know, it might be better as a natural monolith with like kind of nature creeping its way up. That has a very specific kind of characteristic to it as well. The astral spear. An astral spear man. I mean staff man. God, that game did so much damage to the canon of Eldara. Not even funny. Definitely a learning experience. Did not think that well, or not think that through well enough to doing a basically non-canon story. But you know, you always gotta make sure that the players are telling a story they want to tell. I'm just going to be very strict about like stories that we tell on stream. A stream story from now on is going to be an absolute canonical, like, completely canon safe story, which is one of the challenges then for finding people. You know, because I had asked some other streamer friends if they wanted to like maybe be interested in playing some D&D, and I realized something when I was talking to them. Almost every single one of them had like some sort of an idea for a D&D thing that they wanted to do. That was like, I realized, oh, that's right. People, these are not like, these are my friends. These are not people that like care about my project in a way enough to like know what's going on to say like, oh yeah, I think this thing that you did was super cool. I want to tell this story. Or yeah, dude, you know, you're kind of the Twilight Starwood Rangers are rad. Can I play a Twilight Starwood Ranger? That kind of thing. And so they all asked for stuff like, oh yeah, you know, I want to be a Birdman. I want to be a Warforged. Yeah, I got a story for like a vampire. Yeah. If you want to do that, like I'm down. And I kind of had that like slow back wave realization when I was like, oh, that's right. Okay. This is when I sort of doubled down the idea of just running the solo campaign with Ella. What's up, Encounters? How's it going? It's going well, my friend, I think it's going well. Give us the Vor Monster. That was awesome. I'm going to use that. Okay. Okay, well, you know, thank God there's not a token for it. Thank God there's not a token for it. Am I right? Am I right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotta find a better way of doing the library, though, of tokens and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess the building wouldn't work here. I like the natural rock faces sort of steeping up into it. You get plenty of tokens for that over on Fiverr, if you know what I mean. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh boy. Whew. Whew. That sounds like a at your own peril type thing. So, good luck. Good luck. Buried rune faces. I'll like draw some runes and shit on this at some point. Just leave him bare for now. Something kind of nice about like adding something made out of brick or blocks or something into the rune structure. Adds like a presence of decay. Like this wasn't completely an emergence of natural forces or whatever. Something like slightly more recent or organic almost. It's like organic architecture in a way. If that's a real word. I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. Look, I don't make the art. I just talk about it on the internet. Yeah, one of my cousins yesterday, she asked like, what do you do on your stream? I was like, shit, how do I describe this? Rally, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Good to have you. Honored, my friend. Honored. And I was like, how do you describe the bullshit we get up to on the stream. I said more art tutorialing. Yeah, I said more art tutorialing. So are you guys considered tutorialized yet? Do you know how to make art now? Did you all go off and start practicing drawing hundreds and hundreds of boxes, hands, and various anatomical studies, or did you all decide not to? Like a bunch of casuals. Oh, me? Don't worry about what. Don't worry about what I did. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. That's fine. That's fine. I get a gifted sub. Hell yeah! I'm using Photoshop. Everything I do is on Photoshop. Yep. Photoshop and a 24-inch Cintiq. My setup. I'll very rarely, occasionally do ink on paper or graphite, even more rarely, but most of it's all pencil. Or, sorry, digital. And Haneke, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Honored to have you. Not me coming in and getting called out right away. Wait, what? What'd I call you out saying? Shit. Oh, they're not practicing 100 hands? Oh, yeah. Well, listen, that's not me calling you out specifically. That's me calling out everyone the other day that was asking me on how to actually improve. And then when I told them, they said, nah. They said, nah. And I said, okay, fine. Fine, don't then. See if I care. A future Paladin game, I wonder what everyone will play as. An Eldara canon cat people. God, I hope there aren't any Nyathar. At the Paladin game, I hope it's nothing but big, hairy, sweaty men with great swords and tower shields. Hammers and axes. And a dwarf. We need a dwarf. A dwarf with an eye patch made of steel, welded into his face. Like Odin. Yeah, we'll see, bro. I don't know. I'm cool being bad at drawing. My art is painting minis. Hey, there you go. Hell yeah. Mini painting is great. I've recently taken to the hobby myself a little bit. Been fun. Enjoying my time there. Got me some Grey Knights to paint, so let's go, dude.
Nah, you get a group of all Nyathar bards.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. Sedix, you see? You can't be a bard in that game. You have to be paladin. Yep. Yep. Gotcha. Got him. That game is class locked. Get dumpstud. Sorry, bro. You wanna play a bard? You're in the wrong game. The story is a group of paladins on their last light. That's it. I said play a bard? Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough. All Nyathars, all with cat ears on the helmet, all buff, sweaty Nyathar dudes that are 6 feet or higher. Oh god, okay. I kind of want someone to get me, like, I might, in late summer, only take, like, a few Eldara commissions and that's it. And if somebody wants to commission me to draw them in Nyathar, a big, hairy, sweaty, buff Nyathar Crusader Paladin, I might do it. I get the two using Photoshop. Window, arrange, new window for whatever thing you're working on. And then you can act upon one window while displaying the other and recording off of it. This is also good for, like, if you want to look at your piece zoomed out and you have multiple monitors, you can have your piece on one monitor zoomed out while working zoomed in, and you can, like, check between the two. I kind of do that with stream. I'll kind of like check over on my OBS to look at it, but I can also glance over on that side. I want another monitor up here that I can do that on, but for now it's just yeah. I just do it like that. It's easy. And then I can record my process off of that, which is very nice. So I don't have to have a process video of you like bouncing in and out like this all the time, which is really annoying to watch process videos like that. I can't watch an artist work like that. It's pretty bad. Oh man, this cough, bro. This cough. What the hell? I'm also gonna redo my overlay, I think, a little bit. Change it up. Then I'm gonna shrink my camera, push it in this way more, and then scrunch it down a little bit as well. So I can have an art preview of recent projects up top there. So I have more space up there for that. Yeah. And then I have maybe do some like maybe like overlays for the other side for the preview window as well. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what I'm feeling, bro. I don't want to commit to anything right now, even though I'm gonna do it. I guess I won't do it tonight because I'm gonna be out after war. I think I have to. I think I'm gonna have to be out every single night for the next 3 days. Because tonight there's like a barbecue that I have to go to, and then tomorrow there's a fish fry, whatever that entails. And then the next day is Easter dinner, so we'll see about that. What that's like, I don't know what to expect for that. To be fair, I don't expect for any of them. So, but it'd be nice to see the family. They came a long way to see Ella. It might be one of the last times the whole family is together in that way, so I definitely don't want to miss out on any of it. Even though I'm missing out on part of it literally right now. I had work to do today, though. They all are understanding. No one blamed me. Especially because I'm going to meet up with them later on, see where they're at and what they're doing. I'm a traditional artist and a graphic designer, but I don't have, or haven't done any digital art yet, just still intimidates me. What about it intimidates you? Yeah, what about it do you find a little daunting? Allow me to demystify some of it for you, my friend. If there's anything that you don't quite understand or that you find intimidating, I bet you anything that I can help demystify it, or maybe like blunt the teeth on the monster a little bit. Because the digital art is very, like, if you want to produce like concept art or do a lot of work, like high quantity amounts of work, digital art is the only really way that you can actually do that. That's the reason why all the best artists and all the best painters are digital artists, because in order to be the best, like in order to make work that it communicates like quickly, you must be an extremely excelled painter. And if you want to communicate art quickly at the highest level, like you need to for production and for like concept stuff like that and pre-production, you have to do it digitally. So it's just kind of like a weird thing. But you're seeing a lot of these like really high-end digital artists and illustrators going back to traditional on their personal projects. Greg Grotowski is a great example. He's remaking a lot of his digital products or projects that he's like really known for in traditional, so he's painting them out by hand, which is really rad. So it's really, really cool to see some of the big boy artists doing that. Originally I had one of those drawing tablets without a screen, so that kept me away from it. So I think that's what the thing for the longest time. Oh, like an Intuos? That Intuos is a different like style of tablet. The screen tablets are not necessary. You know, when I went to, here's an example. When I went to Blizzard most recently, and I was in this was like before COVID though, was the last time I was there. So BlizzCon 2019, I think what it was. And so I was at Blizzard in November of 2019, and I got an opportunity to tour the art team with the art director, which is really dope. He took us in there and like showed us around. I took note of what the tablets and software that the entire team was using, because I asked him if there was a standardization, and he said no, they can use whatever they want. I didn't see a single non-Photoshop user, so that's one. So everyone used Photoshop, and it wasn't for standardization, it was by choice. And then I also didn't see a single non-Cintiq or non-Wacom tablet, but at the time I do think that Huion and XP Pen weren't as good, so you might change that now, but I doubt it. But what I did take note of, interestingly, is I saw probably 1 in 5 artists used an Intuos tablet because they preferred it. So the display screen tablet isn't for everybody. Doesn't make you a better artist. It's like, sometimes people say like, oh, I didn't buy a Cintiq, so I bought an iPad. I couldn't afford a Cintiq, so that's why I bought an iPad. And my answer is always, why wouldn't you just buy an Intuos? You can achieve the highest level professional results with an Intuos, with a non-display tablet. You actually have also better posture. You know, if you can get that like eye-hand coordination thing down, which you should be able to. I mean, no, not should, will be able to, because it's just like using a mouse. And there's lots of artists there that use tablets. Like I used a non-display tablet for the first 6 years of my digital art journey. So they're great, and definitely if it has a bit of a learning curve, but if that's something that kind of kept you away, maybe give it another shot, because it is a fantastic tool and you can get the same results as somebody with a $5,000 tablet like this. So, did you listen to it yet? Not yet, Alf. I was going to finish the little details down here before I moved on to this shit up here, which I'm almost done. So, if you give me like 2 or 3 minutes, I'll give her a listen to and then take my quick break. There's a lot of opinions on digital art out there, tools and software and whatnot. My advice is to never listen to anybody that says they know the answer definitively, or if their answer is about moral or financial reasons. I write those off immediately. When someone gives me a moral reason for not using Photoshop, or a financial reason for not using Photoshop or Clip or whatever it is, I always like kind of get out of here. I don't care. Just be very careful. You can kind of do whatever you want with any product, service, platform, tool, hardware. You can do the highest level work you can do on any of those things. You need to ask, what's your water bottle like brand? I want to get one. I've normalized all my water bottles to Yetis. They're really good. They're my favorites. So, I have 3 different sizes of Yetis. These ones are the smallest ones we have, and I usually use this if I'm going to mix a electrolyte or something like that, or a caffeine supplement, which this one has a caffeine supplement in it, because it's just a nice smaller size. And then I have a mid-sized one, and then a really big one that I rarely drink from because it's just like me chugging water all day. But yeah, Yetis. This is the difference between the 2 sizes of like small ones. So, not that much smaller, but I like them. It's nice because they all share the same tops and lids and stuff, so you can just have a bin of those in your cupboard. And you can also get them engraved. So like the biggest one that I have, the big boy Yeti that I have, has my Dragon's Claim logo laser etched in it that Ella got her friend Selena to do. So Ella is also going to get this one laser etched with her Blackwood Dice logo, because this is very similar to Blackwood Dice Blue. So yeah, Yetis, they're a bit expensive, but they are by far the best water bottle I think that I've ever tried. So I was happy to switch over to them, and we just keep buying 1 or 2 here or there. Now I think we have like 6 or 8, which is enough for Ella and I. It's enough for us to have whatever size of water bottle we want for any day of the week, for whatever activity. It's like when we go hiking, we'll bring 2 or 3 of those. I'll throw, I'll throw like 4 of that size of water bottle in my backpack, for like partly to have like extra weight in there, and then partly to have the just like more water than we could ever need for a day. So all right, I think we're almost good on our details here. Okay, all right, let's see what Alf did. I said family in town, so I thought no stream today. I'm confused. I do have family in town. That's why we're doing a shorter stream today. I started about half hour earlier, and I'll be ending a little bit earlier today. They're all just at breakfast right now. So I am just chilling, getting some work done that I needed to do, and then I'll be meeting up with them. But it was nice seeing them last night. We picked the girls up from the airport, and they were awesome to see. I never want to be that cousin that also like always comments. Let's see, complaints. Comments on height when you see your like cousins you haven't seen in like 5 years. You know, but man, those girls all grew up, man. They're all like young women now. It's crazy. It's crazy knowing them for the time that they were like babies, all the way down to seeing them as like graduating soon from university, conquering the world. Okay, where's this elf? All right, so this is the theme. The new theme that Alf composed. Let's see. Let's see if we were immersed. Let's see if we're rift walkers yet. Monka, Okay. It's like classical with some mixes in there. This is like the trailer theme, I'm guessing, right? A little tension. Maybe some character art flashing across the screen. A little animatic, maybe. Character portrait appears with their name under it. Hopefully a better tagline than whatever Alf's friend put on that last one. Even if it wasn't AI, I certainly hope the tagline was. Duskwatch Paladin vibe? Yeah, dude. Okay. Well, that's a good theme, man. It was an improvement over yesterday's. Yesterday's the day before. An action montage ending with a violent explosion. Okay. Alright. Probably gone back to the 80s, never mind. I'm seeing it. Be like some like poses and posturing of the villains. Clips of the characters interacting. Finding items or whatever on their adventures. Yeah. Like an old Stargate SG-1 intro. It doesn't matter, we move forward, we survive. Is that what it's called? It doesn't matter, we move forward, we survive? Oh, we can find more badass titles than that. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. That was good, Alf. Hey, congratulations, man. That was really sick. Good job, man. Good iteration on the last one, too. See, all you had to do was lose 4 hours of work. And, you know? And you're all good. So there you go, bro. That was good, man. Voice line I want from you. That's the voice line you want from me. If it doesn't matter, we move forward, we survive. Bro. Bro, we can do better than that.
Nothing can escape.
Hold on, Where is it? Lord South Forest. Where's the voice line? Where's the voice line? Is this one?
We only have to remove those who oppose us.
I mean, what do you want here? You want something with the, if it doesn't matter, We move forward. We survive. Surely there's a more fantasy way we can word that. All right, we got Lord Salforus out here saying that if we only need to remove those who oppose us, we can make this more dramatic. All right, we can do something. We can do something in there. That's fucking sick. I love that, man. It's a good trailer. Oh, good ass trailer music. Let's fucking go, dude. All right, let me get new water real quick. Here, you guys can have the orb. While I'm gone. You guys have earned that much. Alphas have microtransacted you an orb this week anyway. Okay, give me a sec. We'll finish this off. Get her done. Chip away at it. And, BRB. All right, that, what it is, man, what it is. Monoliths. All right, attractive, beautiful monoliths. I'm gonna draw in some runes, bros. Let's go. Revolt. I'm back though. What do you mean revolt? What do you mean revolt? I wonder how many like weeks Al's campaign is gonna be slated for. I feel like that's like if I'm gonna play in a game, I have to like know that ahead of time for like budgeting time. I really hate that, but I don't think we talked about if it's gonna be like a big long game campaign or if it's like a event, you know? I think I want to try running events for campaigns and stuff, stream related things. Maybe I'll see if I can get the girl who played Gwargura to play in my D&D campaign. I gotta figure out who she was before she was Gwargura. And then follow her on Twitter. Actually, let me do that. It's actually hilarious. Wait, I have a meme in mind. Who was Gwargura before she joined Hollow Live? She was known as Same-chan and debuting on September 2020 as a member of Hollow Live Myth Group. Oh my god, why are they all like... Why are they all being weird about this? Oh, I know who she was, but I'm not gonna say. Fucking weird internet weebs. Just trying to look. Senizawa, is that who it was? Oh, Senzawa. Senzawa. Why is this a conspiracy theory? Ugh. Alright, well there's that meme gone. God damn it. That was gonna be funny for at least 20 minutes. Fuck. Damn it. Ugh, Christ. Oh well. Oh well. We jumping it. Broken shards of the astral gates.
Also, that reminds
Yes.
me I'm gonna have to commission you for like 5 character arts. Also, we were talking about a long one, but if it's too long for you, feel free to let me know. We can easily write you in and out of the campaign as it goes, so
Okay,
you can
sick.
take breaks and I'll have the party start a new arc, and maybe your character comes back mid-arc then has to leave again.
Sure.
Same goes for any of the other players.
Yeah, like I think that's the way. So Alf, the way I'm thinking, I mean, first I think 100 bets. I think that's the way that I need to run the game with Ella. Is I need to basically have invitations for my streamer friends to come in for like a month of like 3 or 4. Damn it, fucking orb. 3 or 4 Fridays, Thursdays in a row to like play their character and then peace. Because that's kind of the way that I would need to do it. Is for like certain little arcs and whatnot. But if you want to start the campaign as early as June, July, I'm not sure if I'd have time to make character art before then, because of the project that I have right now. So that project is probably going to go through June into late June. And then I have a bunch of other stuff that I need to do, so I probably wouldn't even be able to start on other characters and shit like that until like late July or August. That's why I'm worried about timing. That's the main concern for timing. You know what? I'm not going to overthink these. I'm just going to hatch the ever-living shit out of them because they're black obsidian stone, Eldarin gateway rock. You know what? Good point, Evan. Glad you made it. Hey, thanks, Evan. It is a good point. Disney right away, whenever basically, because I'm going to have character arts. I'd want them to be from either you or Minnie. Ooh. I'd be honored. Actually, here, let me tell you what about yeah.
All right. Cool. Cool. Okay. Black obsidian. I need to find a way to sketch this in better, because like honestly, I always like over render these stupid stones, and I need to start doing a little bit of hatching on, or a little bit of sketching on them, and then just fucking hatch them in all the way. What's up, Brennan? So we're doing great. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for being here, dude. Happy Friday to you, my friend. Be a short little stream today. I'm glad you caught me while I was live. I'm gonna get ready pretty quick, actually. We'll do a couple of these Eldari gate stones, and then I Christian meeting then later on have you look at those and draw your own versions of them, maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd be fucking sick. Doing art with Minnie, bro. Could you imagine? Bruh, could you imagine? I'm really excited to work with Minnie on Art Bootcamp. I'm excited, but I'm very, very nervous. I'm very, very nervous about it because I don't know how to, like, there's an entire like sort of community of artists that have sort of prescribed or subscribed to like this, like, I don't know, this sort of like self-taught method, and sometimes I hear them talk about it and it's awesome that they're working so hard, but I worry sometimes that like the shock to the system of like how to sort of like professionally do some things would be a bit of an ask, you know. I don't want to intimidate anyone away from progressing or whatever, so I don't know. I think like I know Minnie's up to the challenge. I'm just trying to figure out how to like deliver it easy, like in an easy enough way that that Minnie can take something from there and then sort of branch out with all of her other friends and help out those around her as well. Maybe, you know, not maybe I'm overthinking it. I am overthinking it. I'm sure it'll be fine. So
just let me know if you and Ella have character dressing in mind so I can commission Minnie for them. When you do have them in mind,
Character
I'll
design
send
in
you
mind.
the world setting fully. You can check it whenever, and same for Ella.
Interesting.
Only when you're not busy and are able to chill tone.
Yeah.
So no rush. Don't worry, Minnie, full love gun.
all right, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, bits off. I appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. I'm right now. My default is not promising anything until after Comic Con next weekend, because that's it's gonna be this weekend and next week to next week, and the next 10 days is gonna be an absolute burn. So I appreciate that, and yeah, 100%. I won't even be able to really look at her, or even honestly, I'm not even gonna ask Ella about it until then, because she's so brain fried over everything right now with her family being in town and then Comic Con and whatnot. So yeah, we'll chat about it around then if that's cool, man. Mini D, do you say? Getting Mini Draw Ribbon? I should get Mini Draw Ribbon. Yep, I should. Okay, all right. Well, I need to. I was gonna do about a 3-hour stream today. Unfortunately, I started a little bit late, but I need to get showered up and ready to go. And I said I was doing a short little stream today, so hope you enjoyed a cute little adventure jaunt into Eldara doing some runes. But I am going to bounce and end my recording there. All right. Okay, guys. Hey, thanks for chilling with me today. I know it was a short little stream. I hope you had fun. Thanks for sharing your D&D stories with me, because like as you know, I am basically counting on you guys to vicariously D&D for me right now for this week and next week. So go have an adventure this weekend. If you do, tell me about it on Monday, because I won't even be playing on Thursday. So I'm going to be 2 weeks out of no D&D, and it's very sad. It's very tragic. I'm unhappy about the entire thing, but it's okay. Got some big opportunities and some fun stuff and whatnot. So thanks for streaming, and thank you for answering my questions. I'll be back to watch again. It's my honor to have you in my chat, Raibu. So yeah, please stop by sometime again. Really appreciate it. Just remember, throwing goblins off cliffs is enjoyable, of course. So thank you, Raibu. Thank you, Entities. Thank you, Nick, Moose, Alf. Thank you guys. Thank you, Renards. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. today. I hope you had fun at streams this week. We got a lot of work done this week, a lot of cool projects. We finished Miwa Bell's piece. We finished some other cool stuff. Miwa even followed me on Twitch yesterday. My heart fluttered. All right. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic, fantastic time. If you're doing an Easter thing this weekend, have a very happy Easter. For my fellow Ukrainians and Eastern Europeans in chat, enjoy your Easter bread. Holy shit. I'm gonna eat so much fucking bread this weekend. And for everyone else, please relax. I know a lot of you probably have today and maybe even Monday off from work, I hope. And if you do have that time off work, go do what you gotta do, you know?
Okay, all
why that alert?
For players sent enjoy. You can have a great
why that alert?
family meaningful love gun.
God damn it. Why always that alert when it's important TTS? No player sent. Okay, cool. Thank you, Alf. I appreciate it. So, I will see you guys next time, Monday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. There'll be some pretty cool process videos of the weekend, so look out for those. Anyway, have a great weekend. Until next time, my friends. Farewell.